first page of the application is all about you. We are looking for basic information such as your name, date of birth, address, and citizenship status. If you've had another legal name in the past, please be sure to indicate that on the application. This will ensure that any official document submitted to us will get matched to your application more efficiently, since we'll have all legal names on record. You can also let us know what name you prefer to go by if you use a name other than your full first legal name.
As you move through the citizenship section, if you are not born in the U.S., an additional section will populate where you can indicate what visa you plan to use when coming to the U.S. to study. If you do not have a visa already, most students will indicate an F1 visa for full-time on-campus study. ASU would issue this I-20 for those students. One last key section to note would be the ASU ID portion. Please make sure that you indicate your ASU ID there if you have applied or attended ASU in the past. The 10-digit ID will stay the same, and this will merge your previous records to the new application that you are submitting.
The second page of the online application covers your previous education. In this section, you'll want to indicate all colleges or universities that you have attended after high school. Please enter the information for your bachelor's degree first, and then enter in the date of graduation. Once you have reported the bachelor's degree, you can then move on to report any other colleges or institutions attended. If you have not yet completed your bachelor's degree, enter in your expected date of graduation. When applying, you are required to submit transcripts from any institution where you earned a bachelor's degree or higher. And in most cases, community college or other college transcripts are not required as long as those courses have been transferred to your transcripts that show your earned degree.
At the bottom of the institution info page, you will be reporting your GPA. There are a few sections there. The first is your full undergraduate GPA. If you have not yet completed your degree, please report the most recent GPA that you have from your transcripts. The second is your junior/senior GPA. This refers to the GPA you earned in the last 2 years or last 60 semester credit hours of your undergraduate degree. If you are still completing your degree, you will use the most recently completed 60 credit hours to make this calculation. ASU is looking for graduate applicants to have at least a 3.0 GPA in their last 60 credit hours of their undergraduate studies. The last GPA section is for your graduate GPA. If you've not yet earned a master's or PhD, you can leave this section blank. If you've earned a master's level degree, enter that overall GPA here.
To determine whether you are an Arizona resident or an out-of-state resident, you will need to complete the Residency section. Keep in mind that international students are not required to fill this page out. This section will not be open for students who have indicated that they are a citizen outside of the U.S. on the personal information page. As you go through each question, please be as accurate as possible and include relevant dates when requested. Once you submit the application, your residency calculation will be automatically generated for you. After applying, if you feel like this classification is incorrect, please reach out to our residency office for assistance.
This section of the application is where you will indicate what program you are applying to. First, be sure to indicate whether you are looking for a degree or certificate program, and then from there you can begin to use our filters to find your program of interest. We recommend just using 1 or 2 filters at a time, as you will not need to fill in each section. Once you have found your degree of choice, select the maroon Choose button and then indicate your desired start term. The application will only be reviewed for that chosen term, so be sure to pay close attention as to what option you select, as this cannot be changed after submission. To finish out this page, you need to indicate whether or not you are affiliated to any scholarship programs, and the supporting documentation can be emailed to our office. In the supplemental information page, you will find various sections that will require some further information into your interests and degree specialization. Keep in mind that this page will vary depending on the program that you are applying to. This page can include an option for you to choose your area of specialization, information about any supplemental application issued by your department, or a section for you to learn more about the admission requirements for that specific degree. For any questions regarding these sections, you'll want to reach out to the program that you are applying to, and they can provide guidance on these questions and any supplemental application that may be required.
If required by your program, you will have the opportunity to fill in the information for your letters of recommendation. Please check with your program of choice to find out how many letters are required for review and what type of recommenders they are looking for, whether it be a professional or an academic letter writer. Enter the name, the email, and company for each letter writer here. The letter writers will be notified by email only after the application has been submitted, and it can take at least 24 to 48 hours for those to be sent. The email will have a short questionnaire to fill out, and we will have a link for the recommender to upload their letters of recommendation. Before finishing this section, be careful to indicate whether or not you waive your right to view these letters of recommendation. You will be able to track the submission of these letters via the My ASU after applying.
The self-reporting test score section is optional for all students. However, while the self-reported scores might not be necessary, the official scores are always required from our applicants. If you've already taken your tests, please indicate your scores in this section, and then submit the official scores after applying. Not all programs require the GRE, and some might have this as an optional requirement. Please make sure you are familiar with your individual program's policy on the GRE before taking this test. If you are a student that will be coming to ASU from an institution where the native language is not English, you will also need to meet our English proficiency requirements, either by taking an approved test or meeting the qualifications of one of our waivers. If you have taken one of these approved tests, please enter your score here and send the official scores after applying. You can check out our International English Proficiency site for more information on acceptable scores and possible waivers.
Another possible required supplemental material is a personal statement or the statement of purpose. Keep in mind that these are two different letters, each with a different focus and purpose. If required by your program, you will see a section in the application to upload this item. There are also instructions at the top of that section to review to make sure that your file meets our upload requirements. If you are unsure of what you should write about, it would be best to reach out to your department and find out if they have any guidelines or prompts for this statement. If the document needs to be updated or changed after applying, the personal statement or statement of purpose can be emailed to our office directly to attach to the application. In the additional information page, you will find various sections that will require some further information into your education and background. Keep in mind that this page will vary depending on the program that you are applying to. This could include course descriptions, previous employment history, or prerequisite course details. For these sections, please be as accurate as possible. Upload the required documents based on the uploading guidelines on that page, and be sure to double check your responses for any errors before submitting. For questions regarding these sections, please reach out to the program that you're applying to, and they can provide details on how to best complete these questions.
For the graduate admission process, we allow students to submit their unofficial transcripts for the application review. If admitted into your chosen program, you will be required at that time to submit official final transcripts to our office. These transcript copies can be uploaded into the unofficial transcript section of the online application, and there are detailed instructions at the top of that page to ensure your file meets our upload requirements. If you have more than one transcript to submit, you can either merge the documents into one PDF and upload them that way, or you can upload one transcript here and email the second transcript to us after applying, so we will upload that for you. If the transcripts do not come through properly or additional documents are needed, a task will appear on My ASU and those documents can be submitted via email. You can also check on the review page to be sure that your document has been uploaded properly.